a world of fast food, one brand is rewriting the recipe. Fresh noodles, crisp greens, bold flavors, built from scratch. But behind the wok flames and honey bars is a fast casual brand obsessed with precision, purpose, and progress. Scaling with intention, expanding catering, and delivering convenience without compromise. This is a story of culture, customization, and carving your lane in a crowded industry. Let's stir things up with Honeygrow. In today's realm, Christian mentioned the locations over multiple states or anything. How many states, how many locations now? And if you could, I know I always refer to your guys' concept as I hope I don't butcher this, but I call it like Asian fusion. I don't know if that's completely out of the realm of things, but how would you describe the cuisine at Honeygrow? What are people looking for when they come to eat here and things like that?
As you know, we just recently expanded into your home state of Ohio, which is exciting.
Yeah, they did.
I would say that we're at 55 locations as of last week. We're going to be rapidly expanding in the next 2 to 3 years, so it's going to probably go from like 50 to 100 in what feels like overnight. I would describe Honeygrow as, we always say fast casual dining, healthy, honest eating, growing local, so definitely a healthier option and a create your own kind of stir fry is, I guess, the best way to put it. I mean, I had this conversation with a member of our team the other day. We were joking about how when you think of a stir fry, you might just think vegetables on a wok. And I guess our selling point or our unique features are noodles. So, I mean, candidly, we try to stay away from like Asian fusion, like that word, because we want to feel like we have a big.
I was just spitballing.
No,
you
I
don't got to throw it in my face.
Bring that up again.
I can't endorse. I can't endorse it, but I can't like deny that that's a good way to describe it.
I do think there has to be something about the noodles, because as you guys have described Honeygrow, it feels clean to me every time I eat it. Mm-hmm. And I know, like, if I were gonna try to make stir fry at home, I feel like a whale afterwards. I don't feel good about what I just ate, and I could eat your guys' stir fry all day and not feel that way at all. Do you feel like there are customers who come in here and they're like obsessed with the honey bar side of the menu versus the stir fry? Because that's what blew me away the first time I had anything from the honey bar. I was
definitely
like, I could do this just for that. Like I could never have the stir fry and still come back here all the time.
Which honey bar you got?
I got it was like cheesecake. It was cheesecake.
I was gonna say, like normal honey bars with the yogurt, it's obviously a cool concept, but the cheesecake one is like...
It's incredible. And you, again, like the stir fry, you've made it in a way you can build your own, or you can pick something right out of the box. That's fantastic. It's good.
And kind of touching on that, our menu, the way that it's designed, there are dozens of options, hundreds of options, because it is fully customizable, and that goes for the stir fry, the salad, the honey bar, and it is clean. It feels good to eat. And I think that's what's really appealing to our customer base is you can come in and you can get something new every single time.
Yep.
Go back to the menu a little bit. I just want to give you two a chance to maybe explain what you guys would do when you come to a Honeygrow, or how often you eat it. What are your guys' favorite menu items at Honeygrow?
I would say I had never tried rice noodles until I came to Honeygrow. I kind of knew what they were, but I really liked that it was expanding my palate, I guess, and that we offer a lot of gluten-free and vegetarian options. I never thought I could be gluten-free or vegetarian, and I'm not, but I like...
You like the opportunity.
I like the I was seriously, I really think I could convert.
I think so. We have a dedicated culinary team, and they do a great job bringing forth new LTOs each season. Mm-hmm. So I think kind of just trusting what they think is best and trying their set forth combinations, and again expanding palate and just tasting the world and the different flavors for what they are is a great experience. And
Yeah.
I mean, serrano chili, spicy garlic sauce. I was never a spice person before I started working for Honeygrow, and I've been converted.
I love it.
Yeah, I love the chili flakes in all of it. The chili flakes add
They
something
have
to
a
it.
bite.
Yeah.
It's bite.
It's great.
I want to focus on, we touched a little bit on Honeygrow, the past, the present. Obviously, we got to talk a little bit about catering. That's why we made this trip. We want to highlight the relationship between Deliver That and Honeygrow and the partnership we've had for, I think, Christian, you mentioned now, 6, 7, 8 years,
yeah.
whatever it has been at this point in time. It's unbelievable. But I think at this point in time, we'll start here. What role does catering play in Honeygrow's day-to-day business? I guess first maybe, like, what are your guys' day-to-day jobs look like? Like, what are your titles? What are you guys actually doing day-to-day? I know you mentioned you started in store.
Mm-hmm.
Kiera, you got brought on, I think, a couple years ago, 1, 2, 3 years ago.
We're coming up on 2 years.
2
It's
years.
been a ride.
So like nowadays with going on 50 plus locations, 60 goals to be 100, what does your guys' day to day look like?
Sure. I mean, I guess I'll kind of start off with no day is the same, even though there's elements of the same things every day. Like when I started off at the restaurant as a team member, it was just learning our restaurant operations. And then I was a service manager, and then I was brought on to help with our catering program, which was still kind of developing. So catering as a whole has kind of had this like giant arc where I think now that we have like a team, we've really been able to hone in what we do. So besides working directly with our restaurant teams and chatting with them and making sure operations are going smoothly, we're communicating a lot with our guests and making sure that they're happy with orders and looking at our reviews, our nice little surveys that are left. There's definitely some sales aspects as well. There's oh my gosh, I mean, how do I even begin?
I mean, so we are growing so quickly. We're up to 55 locations. We're not Honeygrow. We don't work for Honeygrow headquarters. We work for Honeygrow Restaurant Support Center. So first and foremost, we're in the office providing any support necessary to our restaurant teams, facilitating any issues or things that come up there in the restaurant. And then on the flip side, we're assisting guests, letting them know we're here for them, assisting them with placing orders. And as Dimitra touched on, we do kind of the cold sales outreach, which we didn't always do until our team kind of grew, till I was brought on 2 years ago. So we have placed a big focus on growing new business. We're expanding into new markets, so people might not know who we are. That's kind of what we do. We let people know who we are, and we let them know that they can come to us for anything they might need catering related.
Something I think you guys are absolutely outstanding at, like by far and away the best brand I've ever seen that has this type of interaction, is with universities, colleges, sports teams, local organizations, anything of that nature. I don't know if I can mention this. I'm going to mention it. We delivered to the Predators last night after the Flyers game.
Yeah.
We've delivered to countless like teams in Boston, teams in Philly, teams in DC. Like, it's a weekly thing. What is going about getting contracts like that look like? You guys mentioned outreach to customers, a little bit of sales, and then cultivating that relationship. How do you guys create those reoccurring orders? And then what is actually facilitating those orders look like for you guys?
So I wouldn't, it's nothing contractual. And I think a lot of the times those professional sports teams, the university sports teams, they look for us. They look at our menu, they see that we do offer the healthier options, whether that be gluten-free or vegetarian, or just in general a cleaner variety of options. So they definitely seek us out, and we're happy to kind of make things happen for them. And obviously on the back end, you guys do a great job on making it happen, and we know that when Deliver That is handling an order, it's going to get there. With stadiums, it can get a little bit tricky with security and things like that, and we know that your team's always willing to assist and, you know, kind of help us jump those barriers to get the catering to where it needs to go.
What's really cool is you're mentioning the stadiums, and I'm picturing So we work in Slack with you guys.
Yeah.
But the communication
do.
with you guys to go out and execute is so hands-on. And like, I'll handle onboarding for new restaurants, and I'm always telling them, just treat us like we're your own driver fleet, right? Like, you don't need to go out and get your own vans, your own insurance. You don't need to hire all these drivers, but you have to communicate with us like you would your own fleet of drivers.
Right.
And I think you guys do that next level compared to a lot of partners. So a lot of the navigating at these stadiums is checking with the customer beforehand. Where do you want the drivers to go? And then making sure those instructions get to the drivers. I think there are a lot of restaurants that will use third parties and be like, oh, we're just going to set it on a shelf and forget it, right? Like, it's their job to do the delivery. All we're going to do is send them a pickup time or a pickup address and a drop-off address.
Yeah.
And you guys take that to the next level. I know it's on behalf of your customer, but on behalf of Deliver That, thank you
Oh my
for
God.
doing that.
Our team definitely takes a lot of pride in handing things off directly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And it's funny you mentioned the third party thing, because I think that's a great point. I think when customers hear third party, they get a little scared, because
Yeah.
I think all of us sitting here today, we've all had a bad experience when it comes to third party delivery. And I think, us being able to advocate for Deliver That and the brand of their catering specific delivery partner, they do a great job. We're able to have eyes on the order from the moment it leaves to the moment that it arrives to you, and just provide them that reassurance. And of course, we have the Slack channel where if things might be running a little behind, there's traffic, what have you, we're able to communicate that with the guests, and again, provide them that next level customer service.
As we talk about all this stuff in your guys' career journeys with Honeygrow, what were the internal discussions like to say, like, we're going to make an emphasis on this? I know when you and Katya were talking, you guys have gone through several iterations of packaging, right?
Yeah.
You guys have done a lot of things that, even since I've been working with you guys on the technology side, to make sure customers can find you on marketplaces, they can order directly from you guys on the website. Internal discussions like, in terms of like what kind of emphasis you're putting on catering?
Yeah, I mean, we are a small company, so in order to grow, you have to be open to that feedback. You have to be open to changing and having those hard conversations. And if something's not working, then you kind of have to nip it in the butt, because once you get to 200 restaurants, it's going to be a lot harder to,
The mistakes hurt more.
Exactly. So
It's been like when we had our hands on with our early catering orders, when there were not as many, there was definitely a lot of like, you're just giving away the food that you made, and it's definitely hard to kind of let that go a little bit as we continue to grow on a larger scale. I think that's what you were also saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
What do you guys feel like is like coming up for catering, right? Like, you guys are very hands-on with your guys' program. Do you see industry trends that make you think that this is only the beginning and catering is going to become more and more of an emphasis for restaurants? And what does that look like for what you guys are doing?
I think any restaurant that doesn't offer catering opportunities is hurting themselves, and I say that because I come from a restaurant background, and I think it's so important, and I think it's a great way to leverage what you already have. For the future of catering, I mean, we're seeing a lot of companies return to full weeks in office, and of course, one of the best perks of being in the office is company-sponsored lunches.
Feed us.
So yes, exactly.
Yeah, feed us.
So I think we are, within the next couple of years, I think we're going to see a big uptick in catering. Where I would like to see catering go, and who knows what the timeline on something like this is, but subscription-based catering services, I think that would be interesting. I don't know if we'll ever dabble in something like that, but I think it would be cool to visit.
I love that.
What are you guys, if we bounce back to the partnership directly between Deliver That and Honeygrow, we mentioned us being the facilitator of the last mile logistics piece of this and making sure those orders are getting to the customer, how they leave the store on time, being set up particularly. What is Honeygrow's expectations, not necessarily from a Deliver That driver, but any marketplace driver, third-party driver in general? What are you guys' expectations of those drivers when they come into your store and then when they leave with that food, and how it should get to your customer?
yeah, sure. I mean, it's the most critical part of catering, quite frankly. And any driver is an extension of our brand. So, like I was saying earlier to dear sweet Katya, who's amazing, it's so great when you see someone who comes in and takes pride in what they do, and not just like looks nice and has all of their work together, But the expectation is always just like kindness and having a general sense of knowledge of like maybe our menu or what we offer, and just understanding, I guess, like as silly as it sounds, but just like very basic kindness, communication skills.
There's an expectation that they would handle every order with the professionalism, the kindness, the care that we would if we were making a delivery ourselves.
Yeah, completely.
We've talked at length, Ben and I, about how much more social it is to be a catering driver than to be like an on-demand driver where everything is drop and go. A lot of the time you're not actually entering the building and going somewhere. There's not setup involved and things like that. And like if you're just running on, one of the large apps and you're doing the on-demand stuff, it can be like almost an anti-social thing, right? Like the orders are set out, they're on their bins, you come in, you grab them, scan it into your app, and then you drop it off on someone's front porch, right?
It is not the introverts.
Yeah, and then you flip all the way to the catering side, and it's like you almost, like what I hear you describing is like you want a good person that's a little extrovert, like be a part of our team, be a part of the guest's actual experience with the food. So yeah, that's something that Ben and I have talked about is very unique to catering, and people will sign up for our platform, and they've only done like the anti-social, let me just drop the burrito off on the front porch kind of thing.
Right.
And it's something we have to tell them up front, like they want you to be a part of their team. We want you to be a part of the customer experience. Walk them through the buffet. Like you're gonna make someone's day. Like you're gonna make lots of people's day dropping off $1,000 of food.
Well, and I mean the funny thing is that people get hangry.
Yes.
So if you show like, and that's the hard thing about lunch orders where you want to make sure you're on time, and just like the smallest bit of kindness, can I help set up? Do you need this?
Yep.
And going off of the on-time thing, like we deal with a lot of universities, a lot of university sports teams, a lot of hospitals, and organizations like that, their entire day might be structured around this one meeting.
Yep.
So it's a matter of being on time, maybe not 10 minutes early, although everybody likes to be early. You have a very small window to execute, and if you're 10 minutes early or 10 minutes too late, you might miss that window, and it could maybe jeopardize the guest's entire experience. So with that being said, I think Deliver That does a great job in just making sure that all of the boxes are checked across the board.
Completely.
I
mean,
that,
you guys...
Yeah, like that 15-minute window from they started getting hungry and now you guys are hearing about it on the phone,
Yes.
right? Like,
yes.
They're like, is the food here?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I need lunch too.
Is it set up?
Yeah.
Operationally then, like how do you guys plan for success on your end? I know like something that we talk about a ton on our end is like lead times. We do not let restaurants submit deliveries to us. I think it was 24 hours or even at one point in time 48 hours before the delivery is actually supposed to happen. Nowadays it's like, I think I ordered the catering for our office on our app and it was like a 2-hour cutoff or something like that prior to when that order had to be placed and what could actually be picked up or delivered. So operationally, how are you guys setting your kitchen and your staff up for success and then making sure those deliveries get there when they're actually structured to be? Like how difficult is that on the back end?
Our teams know what they're capable of. And, thankfully we have the training materials in place that, if they need to execute an order at the drop of the hat, we're willing to do that. And if you're willing to do that as a brand in the future, if a customer calls you frantic, they've never ordered from Honeygrow before, and you're willing to make that order happen for them within a 2-hour time frame, to them, they're like, wow, this brand is great. I want to order from them again. And it's a really easy way to turn a one-time customer into a repeat customer.
Do you guys hire positions in each of your locations or maybe some of your locations that are catering specific? Like their role is to get the catering ready for the day, keep everything organized. Is that something on a store level you have a role for?
There's not a specific title, but the teams that execute a lot of volume of catering, they have a team that comes in specifically in the morning to make sure that they're set up for success.
I knew where you were going with that.
Yeah, so I watched your guys' 16th Street location last year, and I think I've told you guys this story, but there's like 15 people behind the lines. The walks are going crazy. I mean, it's electric. 3 of our drivers come in and pick up $1,000 orders. It was awesome to see. And then all of a sudden, as soon as the last order is passed off, now there's like 5 people in the building. Like the whole place cleared out. And I assume that most of them like came back for the lunch rush and things like that. And like they were due to come back. But it was like right at 10 o'clock and they all just walked out. And I was like, oh my gosh, they were ready for these 3 large orders. Like you clearly staff and have a strategy for that. I've often thought about like the, 90 minutes to 2 hours a catering order comes in, and that's just like code red in the restaurant, right? Like everybody scramble, take your positions, let's get this stir fry out the door. So I loved watching that experience, and me and Ben have also talked about like we want to be a part of that one day, even if it's like fly on the wall, or we can just like pack the boxes and pack the bags with your team.
We do have some
like
plans
I want to
at the
feel the
wings for
pressure.
that.
We could maybe make that happen for you
Yeah,
guys.
I like how you guys want to get hands-on with everything.
Well, we both
seeing
have
it start
like
to
his
finish.
family has a sandwich shop.
Yep.
He used to have like a butchery. Is that what you would call it? A butchery. I grew up in restaurants. My first job was a dishwasher. I grew up back of house in bars growing up. So like, the restaurant game is where we thrive. To be honest.
It's exciting. I worked at a Panera Bread, and like the first thing that was ingrained in you is like there's a little timer on a screen, and you're trying to pump that order out. And then I'm picturing that with $1,000 order, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I could stand the heat. I might have to get out of the kitchen.
It's
for
a
that.
really unique, cool experience. I mean, I would say like my best experiences in restaurant, especially like with Honeygrow, was you get through a lunch rush, everyone's on a walk, like.
Yep.
You're like sweating together. Yeah. You're like making good food. It smells so good. You're getting hangry. You're like, but I don't know. It's really, really, really cool.
And then afterwards, it's just like sigh of relief. Like we made it, we did it. The order got out, or the lunch rush has settled. Team on 3. Okay, let's step away.
Let's take a deep breath. We got through it.
What are there either best case or worst case scenario, whichever way we want to go with it, but when a catering delivery, like there's a million things that can go wrong in this process. The bad delivery instructions, the drop-off address like gets changed, doesn't get updated, customer doesn't answer the phone, like a hospital drop-off you're talking about, like those can get at times absolutely brutal. Then you have a town like Philadelphia where Christian this morning had to drive around 15 minutes to find parking. Katya's texted me like, hey, I'm trying to find parking really quick. So like in a big city like this, things can go haywire super, super quick. Like, how do you mitigate all those risk factors? And then when something does go wrong, what are you guys doing on the back end to say, hey, give us one more shot. Hey, next time we can do this better. Here's how we can be better, A, B, C, next time down the line. Like, what does that look like from the Honeygrow team?
There's 2 parts to it. So there are things that are unavoidable, and there are things that are avoidable. The things that are avoidable, Dimitra and I are on the spot, finding a solution in real time. We might be utilizing the Slack chat and saying, hey, Cody, how can we get this sorted out as quickly as possible?
Shout out, Cody.
Yeah, shout out, Cody. And then the unavoidable things, traffic, no parking. It's really kind of, there's a learning curve, and the more that you deal with it, the more that you know. And if you get bad delivery instructions from a guest, you kind of make a mental note that, okay, next time they reach out, I might need to clarify that a little bit. And it's, when you handle so many things, you kind of are able to just carry it to the next thing. And it makes it easier to problem solve on the spot.
What about when you're operating within markets that you guys aren't currently in? Like, you guys are operating out of Philadelphia. What happens when something goes wrong in Boston or DC and you guys aren't like boots on the ground? Is it harder to navigate issues when you're not as familiar with the back streets and the roads and those locations every single day?
It definitely depends. And like I said, we work very closely with our restaurant teams. And, we might not be familiar with Boston and the Seaport area, but our restaurant teams are. And, just like they can lean on us, we can lean on them. And, if something does go haywire or something's forgotten, they're always willing to kind of boots on the ground and make it happen for our customers.
We leverage our drivers in much the same way, right? Like, there's so many cities that we operate in that I've never been to, but you can get on the phone and someone will be excited to tell you about their city. Like, no, you don't understand. Like, the alleyway system is like this.
Yeah.
Everywhere in Columbus is a one-way street. Like, you miss one turn, then you have construction. There goes 15 minutes kind of thing. So, yeah, we're constantly getting feedback from drivers just like that. A lot of ours is like parking and driving.
I like to call
related.
that like the life aspect of the business, where it's just like you can like look at this on Google Maps, but
Yep.
tomorrow there could be construction.
Yep.
There could be a water break. There could be, it's crazy.
And
It's-
getting everyone who's involved in this like triangle, we'll say, like getting the restaurant to understand that, getting our support team to understand that, and the customer to understand that, it's a big deal. And it's like we have to have open lines of communication, because as well as things have gone with you guys and we mitigate everything, there have been massive mistakes, there have been little mistakes, and you always have to just navigate that and say, okay, how do we prevent this in the future? But also, can we just get a full understanding of what happened? Let's just give
Right.
peace of mind to you guys and pass that peace of mind to the customers, so that whatever we can do to support a win back, you guys have a chance, you know?
Yeah, we definitely work together, and if a driver drops the ball, if our team drops the ball, let's learn from each other, and let's avoid this from happening again in the future.
Yep. Because like you said, once we get to 200 locations, it's a little tougher to just kind of pivot things.
World
at that point.
domination.
Yeah.
What is there? I mean, Christian mentioned like there have been massive mistakes. There's been little mistakes, and there's been a million successes along this whole entire journey in this partnership. But is there anything about this partnership that has given you guys faith that, hey, like this one went wrong, but tomorrow it's going to go perfect, and next day is going to be a bounce back, and all these deliveries are going to go amazing? Like, what about this partnership has made you guys feel supported, felt great going into those deliveries, and actually given you guys the ability to be like, hey, we know these drivers are going to execute how we would, it's going to show up how we wanted, and this delivery is going to go how it's supposed to?
I'll say candidly super quick before you
No,
hop
please
on.
do.
Whenever I see deliver that attached to an order, I kind of take a deep breath, because I'm fairly confident that everything's going to go smoothly. So it gives me, on the back end, the peace of mind, and I'm sure you feel the same way.
Completely. I mean, I would say it's accountability. I mean, we hold our teams accountable, and I think we see that in the same with your teams. You guys hold each other accountable. And so for me, it was like I hate reaching out to my teams and being like, hey, this could have gone better. But we look like Kiera said, we're restaurant support. We're nobody's like direct supervisor or anything. We really work in tandem, and I think you guys also kind of have a model like that as well.
Yeah, our management structure's a lot of TBD most times.
Shout
And the
out Tony again.
communication you guys have with your drivers, I think, is a lot like what we have with our teams, I guess. Like, you're not afraid to pick up the phone and call and talk to somebody and just like make it right. And so I think that's what gives us a lot of confidence, ease of mind. Like,
Well
and
said.
you guys have a great standard too for your drivers. So when I see deliver that attached to an order, I'm like, it'll be good. It's all good.
We love that. Yeah, I think it's about having like a fast feedback loop, whether that's you guys with your customers, us with our drivers and our support team. But sometimes you guys will email me, Cody, and the dispatch email. And before I even see it, like someone's talking to the driver, somebody's getting a rundown on exactly what happened, and it's like, oh, you don't need me. That's
This is
sad.
halfway
That's
handled.
great.
We don't need you anymore.
So yeah, I think just having a fast feedback loop, and you guys always communicating with us, right? Because sometimes problems get swept under the rug, or you get to a scale with a partner where they don't mention that this went wrong, or they don't mention that this went wrong, and then all of a sudden 4 little things have happened in a short span of time, and it's like, now it's a big thing. You guys don't let that happen.
What's impressive too is it's not always reactive communication too.
Oh, yeah.
Like in this Slack channel we have, you guys are very proactive. Like, hey, this is going to this customer. They need they need you to call this number. They need you to meet at this door. They need it like this, and this. And you guys are very proactive about reaching out, letting us know, here's the customer's contact information. If it updates, here's what it updated to. If their address updated, here's what it updated to. If anything's going to go wrong, like here's the person you need to contact. And I think in terms of communication, being proactive is so much better in all facets of this business, without a doubt.
Well, and we're really lucky that you guys are so receptive to that too. Because there's some days I know, especially when I first started off, I'm like, I hope this isn't annoying. That I'm like, hello, it's me again.
Hi, team.
I heard from the guest, this is the new address, this is the new this and that. And you guys were like, yep, perfect, got it, thank you. And I'm like, you know what, great, awesome.
And I think it's just like, having those open lines of communication, like we're setting ourselves up for success. We're setting your drivers up, the Deliver That drivers up for success. And, if the customer overall feels like they had a great experience, maybe they want Sean from Deliver That to deliver their next order. And, to them, that's more money in the Deliver That driver's pocket. And
Completely.
And yeah.
And we want to give them those opportunities.
Absolutely.
Like,
I think that's actually a super interesting line of conversation that you bring up is the ability to request drivers for specific deliveries, and having those customers specifically request them or your team specifically request them, and giving those drivers the opportunity for repeat business to come in, be super familiar with your stores, get super familiar with this business itself. What are the aspects of that driver's ability or communication level or aspects of what they're doing for you guys specifically that promote you guys to request them on specific deliveries, or the customer themselves is reaching out and being like, hey, this delivery went amazing, and that implores you to request that driver the next time? What qualities about those drivers are you guys looking for?
I mean, I can say that idea was kind of born from having guests that order on a weekly basis and giving them the same just overall clean experience, and knowing that the driver was kind, met them where the delivery was. Sometimes they're really unique deliveries, and just ultimately just giving it a smooth handoff was what made everyone's life easier. The team knows that this is, Ben's weekly order, and they know that Christian's going to come pick it up, and they always know Christian's going to show up with a smile and know how to give the food to Ben, and it's going to be smooth sailing. I mean, you guys are awesome. It made that not just easy to implement, but it made our teams kind of empowered that they want to meet these drivers and make sure that they're delivering these specific orders, and they just know it's going to be a good smooth experience.
It was actually a big topic of conversation when we were at the conference. Like every manager we were talking to, we were like, just get to know the drivers. You can request whoever you want anytime. You guys will pass along the message, and they loved it. And for them, they get to physically see and feel the handoff experience, which is half the battle, is having a great experience at the storefront. But they can also see what equipment do drivers have.
Yeah.
A lot of them are pulling right up to the storefront. They can see what kind of vehicles they're driving. That gives them peace of mind. But it's everything you described is a way to start getting yourself on a request list. And then as a driver, having the right number of bags or the right cart or the right car. Like you were talking to Katya, she can handle $6,000 car, no problem. And a lot of times you'd rather have that than 3 drivers who can handle less food.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's been really cool to see you guys leverage the requested driver function. And I think for drivers, it's check the boxes, be kind, give great service.
Yeah.
But if you want to invest in this and start taking really large orders and getting requests, because you guys know some names right now across different metros that you're like, hey, we have a $1,500 order. We want this one driver to take it, because they've demonstrated it in the past. So
Well, and I haven't given your team enough kudos about what you guys provide for your drivers, like carts and bags and
Equipment,
a standard of uniform. I mean, I know that sounds kind of silly, but it makes your drivers' lives easier. Your brand looks great.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
I take pride in what you guys.
Yeah. And we're constantly learning too. We have gone through the battles of ordering bags and the zippers break every time. I'll pause, shout out Jim, shout out our e-commerce team for sourcing this stuff. But yeah, we've gone through bags where the lining rips every time you put a pan in it, the zippers break. We've gone through carts that we didn't realize were the wrong dimensions for what our drivers are actually rolling in the carts, so things didn't fit in there. It's a huge learning curve, and you guys go through that on the flip side for how you package your catering orders. It's just being receptive to feedback. Drivers will tell you, this is good, this is bad, and you just have to trust, they're delivering the food. They know. They know.
And it's funny you say that, because when I was with Katya during that first big delivery, it was I had a moment where I was still really early on, and I was kind of like, oh my God, how are we going to carry all this food?
How are we going to
It's
figure
just
this
the
out?
2 of us. And Katya pulls out her cart, and
Yep.
I'm like, I just am along for the ride.
That we met with her to do a massive delivery sometime late last year.
The
And-
U-Haul?
Yeah, we did. So me and Ben and the team.
Are you talking about the Villanova one or a different one?
The Villanova one.
Oh, yeah.
You guys
So
rented a U-Haul?
Yeah, well, this actually happens much more frequently than you would expect.
It's
It
happening
actually
a lot
happens,
these days, yeah.
very frequently.
But
That's cool.
it's $14,000 that we're transporting. So we rented a U-Haul and we show up, and I was like, hey, we should have reached out to Katya and brought her carts and brought her bags and things. And Ben was like, I did. She told us she doesn't need it. She has everything she needs. And then I get there and I was like, oh, we would have looked really silly if we brought her a cart. She's got everything you could need. And I was just blown away. So it's cool, but that's a whole level of investment that's okay, now you can really make a living doing this rather than just someone who's going to casually do a couple week.
Absolutely, and I think, when you get to that level, it is essential because it makes your job a lot easier. It makes the customer experience a lot better.
Yep.
So just having those options available to your drivers, it's a better experience for everyone.
Yeah.
I think I only have like a couple closing questions, super general, just maybe like more clippable questions, I would guess, in the frame of reference of things. I know you spoke on it with Katya a little bit, but just for the pod, if you could let the people know out there, do you guys know the largest catering delivery that Honeygrow's ever facilitated?
I think it was $8,000. I'm gonna be honest though, I don't remember the specifics. So I usually talk about the $6,000 order that we did. That was probably the biggest one that I was on site, facilitated, executed, all that good stuff. So yeah.
We're getting to the point though where we know our teams can kind of handle those really big orders, those $6,000 plus orders, and hopefully down the line we can break a new record and kind of bang out a $9,000 to $10,000 order.
that.
So
Hopefully
we'll
it's
see.
in Canton, so you guys have an excuse to come.
Yeah, can we talk about the Canton location a little bit? Did the Canton manager won an award at the Honeygrow conference? Is that correct?
Most accurate restaurant location.
Yeah.
Can we shout them out? Who
Shout out
names?
North Canton.
Shout out.
Is there any names?
The North Canton team. I'm gonna.
Okay, North Canton
whole
team.
team.
Shout out
The whole
North
team.
Canton team.
It's Jessica.
I think it is.
She's
Jessica.
very new, and she.
I mean, forgive me. We're expanding so fast.
Well, and she's very new with you guys because we had a long conversation about how she was food and beverage director of the only casino that is within an hour of me. So, she was awesome, and it was cool to see how recently they had opened to win an award. But speaking to your guys' culture, like she's very new, and she loved it right away, and then she gets an award. I think she's been with you guys like literally a handful of months now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was really cool to see. And by the time we left, I was like, oh, she might be a honey grower for life. Like she's gonna get her 5-year badge. So yeah, shout out to that store. And we were so excited to get one in our backyard. And now to your guys' point, you're expanding so fast that Ohio better be ready. I know I was talking about, hey, let's come to Columbus. Let's use Buck ID Cash. Like I have all these plans for you guys that
I
we
love
take
that.
over Ohio State.
I love that. I mean, we're happy that we're finally in Ohio because I feel like the Deliver That team was every single week in the Slack chat. Like when
I was doing a lot of begging for a long time to get that location to Belden Village.
So let me ask you, Ben, what's your favorite Honeygrow dish?
I mean, I'm a big shrimp guy. I love seafood. So like any like the garlic butter, like I'll do the chicken, I'll do the shrimp. I love the spice as well. I certainly am not going to be able to list specifically menu items by name.
Well, we've done a lot of build your own every time me and you have gone.
I've tried like for sure all of it at this point.
And that's like part of the experience too. It's like, what's your favorite item? It's like, I don't know. It's slightly different every time,
right.
you know?
Especially if you try something with the seasonal menu and you mix it with your normal order and then
Serrano chili, Ben, on the menu
I know the buffalo chicken got mixed reviews here and there. I'm a big blue cheese guy, so I love the buffalo chicken.
you'd be surprised. Blue cheese is super polarizing.
It is a polarizing thing.
As are mushrooms.
Yeah. Mushrooms and
Mushrooms
blue
are a no-go.
cheese.
Love
See,
them both.
I love mushrooms.
Same.
Sorry, I'm very passionate
Same.
about that. I was like, sorry, cut that out. My God. I love mushrooms.
That's my favorite part. I love mushrooms.
Do not clip me
On today's
shouting
episode,
that.
Honeygrow, I love mushrooms.
I love mushrooms.
So surprised though. We have so many guests that are like, yes, give us all of the garlic butter chicken and the garlic butter shrimp, but no mushrooms. And
Take the
I'm like,
mushrooms.
okay.
Yep.
I agree.
That was us stopping at Permani's and you guys ordering no
she was
coleslaw.
not
She
happy
berated
about
you.
that at
Yeah.
all. What if you talk about like customization for specific orders itself? If someone comes in and orders, and you talk about people asking for, I guess you're referring to the catering. Like how customizable are your catering options as well?
Not at all. And we do that on purpose because we want the experience to be replicable. So, to be consistent, we can't be adding in different ingredients or, swapping this for that. Of course, we're happy to make those accommodations if someone requires it on like a dietary level, but we really stray very far away from the customizable platters. We've tried it. It just doesn't work for us and what we're trying to do.
It's the difficult part of our menu where we have to really stick to the menu, versus I know anything individual is super customizable. So I know guests really want that experience on like a bigger, larger scale, but they don't realize that it's not as easy.
Yeah, you
and
just can't
it's-
replicate it.
No,
Right.
and quite frankly, like really kindly, if you have like an individual order that just is not great, like an amalgamation of whatever
Yeah.
food you like.
Now 50 people
Doesn't
have
mean
to
other
eat
people
that.
are going to order it.
Yeah.
Well, I love that. I think there's a big lesson for other restaurants from that too, because people will try to do things that are outside the scope. And like what I just heard is like on a sales level, it would be sweet if you could just tell people yes to everything.
Yeah.
And then you talk about the operational side
Mhm.
and willing to have that compromise of like sales needs to set the expectation for the customer. This is the experience you're going to have.
Mhm.
And then operationally, we just need you guys to back that up.
Yeah,
And,
it's-
and wherever your limits are, just tell us so we're not overpromising.
It's like people think
Exactly.
they want it, but we're here to tell them you don't.
Yeah,
you
you
don't.
don't
Just
actually
trust
want
us
it.
on
You
this
might
one.
think
Yeah.
you want it
Yeah.
all,
Yeah.
but you don't.
Trust us,
Yeah.
this will be great.
Yeah. Trust me, bro.
I love that.
I think we're coming up on 10:30 when the store's actually opening. So I do want to obviously just close things out. Thank you guys so much for your time. We're so
Thank you.
grateful
Thank you.
for the partnership. So appreciative of last night going to the Flyers game with us, spending this entire morning with us. We're about to take a Honeygrow delivery with our driver Katya back there, who just did our new commercial concept with Dimitra this morning. That's going to hopefully end up looking and feeling amazing that we're going to showcase to the world. But yeah, I think for me, this is our first time shooting inside a location directly. Second,
you.
third, fourth, fifth podcast with Christian hosting
Couldn't have had a
itself.
better backdrop either.
Well,
The
you
Honeygrow was
sun's
the
now
best to do
peeking
it.
through the window here, so it's
Yeah.
like blinding my left eye. But yeah, I just want to say thank you guys again so much. It was great for me. This was a long time coming.
Yeah.
I know Christian met you guys previously, but Kiera, Dimitra,
awesome.
meeting you guys in person, been amazing. Everything it was hyped up to be. So thank you guys so much.
Thank
Thank you, Ben. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Christian.
Thank you,
Always a
guys.
pleasure, you two.